Welcome to the Strong Youth Project, where our mission is to improve organized sport experiences for youth, parents, coaches, and other mentors via education and evidence-based practice. Welcome to the Strong Youth Project podcast. As we work to improve organized youth sport experiences, we will share insights from both scientific research and real-life experiences. Although we will present evidence-based information from the highest quality scientific sources, we also recognize the value of first-hand experience shared directly from athletes, coaches, and parents. These experiences may not always align perfectly with scientific research, yet we believe they still offer important insights into how best to effectively facilitate the many benefits youth sports can offer.
Welcome back to the Strong Youth Podcast. My name is Ellis and I am your host. Today we are joined by Zavier Gozo, who made his Major League Soccer debut at age 16 for Real Salt Lake. We discuss the impact of his parents, coaches, and faith on his journey to the pros, his aspirations for the game, and how he defines success. Most of all, we learn why humility isn't just a part of soccer, it's what makes the game meaningful. Epic. Okay, I am really curious. Tell me about the bicycle kick. What was going through your head before, after? Tell me about that experience.
I think it just deflected, off one of my teammates' shots, and I was just like, we needed to go really bad. I feel like we just needed to get back into the game, so I was just like, let me just try to hit this. And yeah, I feel like it was kind of like a natural instinct a little bit, so I can't really say what I was thinking because I don't know if I was thinking too much, but I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed that was a natural instinct to go for that goal.
Yeah.
And that was Real Salt Lake's first goal of the game, is that correct?
Yes.
And, what was after the game, getting Son's jersey after the game? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I actually didn't get his jersey after that game, so we played them the next week again in LAFC, and I got he promised me his jersey after that one, so it was crazy. I feel like obviously he's a super nice guy, so just a pretty simple interaction, but yeah, it was great. I think he's the best player I've ever played against for sure.
That's so sick. The jersey swap is iconic.
For sure, you have to.
That's awesome. So when did this all start for you with soccer? Take me through your whole journey.
I started when I was 3. My dad coached me for a while. He's a coach himself, so he coached me until I was maybe 7. I joined my first competitive team, Firebirds, when I was 7, and then moved to another team called Comba when I was maybe 10, and then played there for a while. And when I was about 11 or 12, got accepted into this discovery program that RSL has for the best kids in Utah or whatever. They bring everyone together and we do just practice every Monday. So I was in there for when I was 11 until all the way till I was 14. I played for LaRocca my last year, and then went to the academy when I was 14. And then played in the academy 1 year, got signed the following year, and then made my debut that following year. And then
So that feels like that went pretty fast toward the end there, right? That's cool. So tell me a little bit about your dad coaching you from the time you were 3 to 7. What about that, cemented soccer for you and made that a positive experience?
Yeah, I think he just always kind of put the soccer ball around me when I was little, so I feel like I kind of fell in love with it, as well as my brother played, so I feel like you always want to be like your older brother.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of chasing him, and I feel like that also made me better, having someone to chase and playing with the older kids. And yeah, I feel like him coaching me was awesome. I feel like obviously I'm always getting coached, even when I'm at home. So it's kind of annoying when you're a little kid, but I feel like it definitely helped me just to be focused and to know the right things. So
does your dad still coach you now at home even?
Yeah, sometimes, of course. He has to. He can't help himself.
That's awesome. I'm guessing that's usually positive coaching, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, usually positive, sometimes negative, but it's it's whatever. Coach has got to say it all.
Yeah, no, for sure. Having your dad as a coach and a dad can sometimes be kind of a hard, dynamic. How did you guys work with that?
I think it was just I don't know. I think I feel like I really don't separate the coach from the dad, and then maybe that's hard. That's why I had to stop coaching me from when I got a little bit older. I had to get opinions from everybody else. So I feel like obviously I just respect what he says, and
Yeah.
I feel like he knows a lot more than me because he's older. My dad, I feel like so I feel like it was easy for me to listen to him and to take his advice.
Yeah. That's cool. What role did your mom play, like, growing up?
Yeah, she's awesome. My mom is my best friend, so she's great. Like, she did everything for me and my brother. Yeah, I mean, from taking us to soccer practice, she did everything for us. So, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, brag on her. All you
Yeah,
want.
no, she's awesome. Like, she's the best.
What's the biggest thing that your parents did, like the best thing they did to support you in this journey playing for RSL?
I think the best thing for a kid, for their parents to do, I think what my parents did as well, was just to put no pressure on me. I feel like they kind of just like let me do whatever I wanted. Not whatever I wanted, but like let me play if I wanted to play, or if I don't want to play, I don't have to play.
Yeah.
And I feel like that really made me, kind of want to play more. I feel like, and develop my own like love and passion for soccer and sports. So, and I feel like sometimes when the pressure's added and like you have expectations from your parents or from your family, it's kind of you kind of lose the love a little bit of the sport. So yeah, I think that's my favorite thing they've done. That just to help me develop my own like kind of idea about what I think about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said they put no pressure on you.
Yeah.
What did that look like in practice?
I feel like it was just kind of like I told them what I wanted to do. Like, I want to go to practice today. I don't want to go to practice today. And it's just like, I feel like obviously they kind of had a mindset, if you're going to do it, you got to do it. Like, you got to do it all the way. So I feel like obviously it was just like either I'm in or I'm out. So I feel like they pushed me also. Like, it's not like they didn't push me, but so they were just like there for me to push me. But if I didn't want to do it, like they would ease off. So I think that's the perfect balance.
Yeah. How did they push you?
Just like, I feel like helping me realize what my dreams are, kind of like, obviously it's like, what do you want to do with this? It's like how good do you want to be? How much do you want to work? You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like just making me realize that like, if I do want to go pro, or if I do want to take this far, I have to put in work, and that's the end of the line. I feel like, yeah.
No, flat out. You know, you said they helped you realize what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want now? Looking forward in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
I think of myself playing in Europe, probably.
Yeah.
Probably playing in Europe. I can't tell you where, but
Yeah.
playing somewhere, hopefully playing in the Champions League and World Cups and stuff like that. That's what I want.
Sweet. Okay, we were chatting about the World Cup before.
Yes.
World Cup's coming up this summer. Thoughts on that, feelings?
Yeah, I feel like obviously I haven't been in the first team yet, but I feel like that's something that I aspire to do and aspire to be. So I think obviously it's in my sights, and that's something I would want to do. But I think I just need to focus on my performances with my team, and you know, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, you know, the next 4 years.
Yeah, no, for sure. You said focus on your performances with your team.
Yeah.
What else do you think will get you there?
I think just focusing on myself and buying into what my coaches have to say and what my mentors have to say, and always just keeping an open mind about things, and never getting too high and too big-headed or too egotistical to listen to other people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Along those lines, I wanted to ask, what was it like for you signing with RSL, you know, right out of the academy? What was that experience like?
It was awesome. I feel like my coaches tell me all the time, or like the owner of the club, they tell me like, oh, you're like an inspiration to the kids that came from the academy. And I feel like in the moment, obviously I didn't think that. Like, obviously I'm just trying to go pro. I'm trying to do my own journey, but I feel like it was special for me to come all the way from the discovery program through the academy and kind of just take all the steps, and then make it into the first team and start playing. So I feel like it was a surreal experience.
Yeah.
Which came at me fast, which we talked about. I feel like it all happened kind of fast, and you don't really realize it's coming until it's like right there.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Yeah, so I just feel like it was a great experience, and I'm happy that it could be an inspirational experience as well.
Yeah. So talking about coming at you fast, what was difficult about that?
I feel like it was difficult, maybe just adapting to professional level, maybe. But I think my coaches and my teammates and the staff at RSL just really helped me. Obviously, and my family. I think when you play with grown men when you're 15, it's like you have to adapt. They're bigger, faster, and stronger.
Yeah.
So I think that was pretty much the hardest part. And I think after learning, it's like soccer is pretty much a thinking game. So you don't really have to be big, strong, or fast. So I think it was just about developing my mind and yeah.
Yeah. So in what ways did you develop your mind in particular to keep up with those guys?
Yeah, I think it's just faster. Everything's faster. So it's just like you kind of used to be able to having time on the ball and all the other things, like being able to dribble for longer periods of time.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to adapt to that and you have to think before you get the ball, think ahead, think 2 steps ahead. So I think that's just the things I would focus on, just like in training when we would play, because obviously it's pretty hard for me coming from the academy. It's slower and I'm bigger than everyone in the academy. So
yeah, for sure.
It's a big difference. But yeah, I think that's just how I changed my mind.
Oh, that's sweet. With, playing with people, you mentioned you're younger than most of the people on the team.
Yes.
You're the 3rd youngest player to debut in RSL history, that's huge. Did you ever play against some of like your heroes for soccer?
I feel like, Son
Yeah.
is obviously one of the players that I look up to, and I feel like maybe I haven't played against any of my heroes yet, but obviously everyone in the first team I looked up to. Being in the academy, those guys seem like kind of untouchable before you get there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like you're so far away until you're right there with them. So
Yeah.
So I feel like all the guys on my team now, I feel like obviously I looked up to them, and just all the guys I play against in the MLS, obviously I looked up to them. So it's been awesome.
Yeah. So how did playing with them, change your mindset?
Well, I just think it puts things into perspective. I think when you're coming from the academy, you're coming from youth soccer, it's like you're the best on every team you've been on. It's like you're the best until it's like you're there and then you're not the best, you're the worst, So I feel like that's a big thing that I learned. I feel like you just kind of have to humble yourself a little bit and just be like, everyone's good, everyone's can do the same things I do, and it's just kind of how you get an edge on all of that.
Yeah. But you've touched on humility quite a bit.
Okay.
What makes humility so important, for you?
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with my faith, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like, and then when I said you have to be humble to be able to listen to people, and I think that's the biggest thing in life and in soccer. I feel like when you listen, if you don't listen, you won't learn anything, and everyone has something to learn. Everyone has a lot to learn, so I think just being humble and being able to listen and learn from anybody, I feel like it's the biggest part.
So here with the Strong Youth Project, we like to talk a lot about faith.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your faith journey, how that's helped with that humility.
Yeah, I think my mom has been a big part of my faith, and obviously she's strong in the church and in her faith as well. So I think just the way she treats me and the way she treats other people, I've had a good example of growing up, just how to treat people and how to be. And I think she reminds me with all the success I've had, just how like, you want to be like Jesus, and it's just like every human being is equal. And I feel like that's what keeps me humble. And it's just like, I'm no better than you, regardless of money, success, or any accolades that I may have. It's just we're all equal.
Yeah. So with, you mentioned that your mom has a big role to play in that, with teaching you that.
Yeah.
With her teaching, how else did you learn this for yourself?
Obviously, I feel like I learned it through the trials in my life. I feel like that's kind of a natural way to learn. I feel like you have to go through the bad to know what you really have.
Yeah.
So I think there's times in my life where like my faith wasn't as strong as it is now, and I think, or just I'm going through a hard time or whatever. So I think leaning on the Lord and my faith in the church in all those times helped me build my testimony and to realize how lucky I am to have the church in my life, to have the Lord in my life, to have a relationship with Him.
Yeah.
And just have something to lean on no matter what. So I think that's because I feel like sometimes sports can be high, sometimes sports can be low, sometimes they can be okay. So I feel like just having a foundation of the church and a relationship with the Lord is essential for me.
Yeah. I love that. What are some of those hard times? I guess if you could pick one that was most influential, which one would you?
I think I have a couple.
Yeah.
I feel like
I was gonna say, go for it.
When I was young, my parents got divorced, and obviously, like I feel like when I was young, I didn't really know like what what that was going on, what was going on. But like as I grew up, like I realized like it wasn't really like the normal, like it's not a normal family. And I feel like I had a hard time with that for a little bit, and I was just kind of, I like to say, like coasting through life, and it's just like every day I'm waking up just like on autopilot a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just like every time I would read the scriptures, like that would make me feel real joy, like no matter what. Like obviously in that time, like I go to soccer practice, you know, it's kind of just like everything's, you know, nothing makes me feel emotion, but like when I open that book and I pray and I feel the Spirit and I go to church, and that makes me feel joy, and that makes, you know, your heart burn. And I feel like that was always a testament. That's what I always lean on. And now thinking about my testimony is just like how that made me feel in those moments where, you know, I feel like I couldn't really feel anything. So I think, yeah. And I also think when I broke my fibula, having an injury like that, after I just got signed, I made my professional debut, and then I actually broke it in an academy game. So I went to a tournament with the academy, so I wasn't supposed to be even playing. Broke it there, and it's like, you know, you kind of feel like you're restarting a little bit. Like all the progress that you've made is restarted, and I feel like obviously that can just take a toll on you mentally.
Yeah.
So I think for me, leaning on my faith in that time and just realizing, you know, I control the controllables, and trust in what the Lord has for me. I think that's really helped my testimony as well.
Yeah. What did you learn about God from that experience breaking your fibula?
I just think that everything happens for a reason. I think there's not one thing that he doesn't know, and there's not one thing that happens in your life that is unexpected for him. And regardless of what you know, and I feel like we don't know a lot, and he knows everything about us, every pain we go through, every suffering we go through. So I think it's just that I just need to trust him regardless if I know and fully understand what's going on in my life, or like I like it or not.
Yeah.
You know, he knows what's best for me, and he knows like what trials I have to go through to become the person I need to be. So I think that's what I learned, and I feel like obviously my success now is a testament to that. So
yeah. So what in particular did you learn from overcoming that injury?
I think it's just like setbacks don't define you. It's just what you do when you're set back. I feel like, you know, you can get knocked down, but it's about the times you get up, how many times you get up. So
yeah. So what did you do, you know, to get back up?
To get back up, I think exactly what I was saying. I focused on the Lord. I focused on my recovery, and I focused on my family, and control what I can control. You know, I did all the right things to get back and be healthy. And I think, you know, that helped me up to be, you know, start right where I left off when I did get back to playing and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you've certainly come back stronger than ever.
Thank you.
So that's awesome. Is there pressure playing professional soccer as young as you are?
I feel like my answers are going to be the same for all these, but I feel like just thinking about my faith, I feel like I maybe have a different approach, but I feel like there is a pressure in a sense, because obviously, like, you know, when you're playing youth soccer, it's kind of like no pressure, like just go out there and have fun. But it's like now you have a job to do, and, you know, there's people's jobs on the line, but I feel like I just go out there, and, you know, I feel like I have everything I need, and I've put in the work to be there. So it's like, you know, I'm not out of place. So I feel like there's no nerves or like pressure really to be worried about. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I just go out there and play really. So I don't feel any pressure, at least. Maybe there is pressure, but I don't feel really pressure.
Hey, that's amazing. Yeah. That's the inner peace that you've done everything that you can. You know, you mentioned that your faith gives you a unique perspective on that. What's that perspective?
I think it's just that, like, whatever happens, like, is what's meant for me. And I feel like a big thing this year is my motto is just make the most out of all the opportunities that God gives me. So I think every opportunity, regardless, I think every day is an opportunity. So just make it the most out of every day. And like playing games, I think is the same way. I feel like every game is an opportunity, and I'm gonna go there and try my best. And it's like, if I play bad, you know, I play bad. If I play good, then I play good. You know, I feel like that's what's meant to happen, and you know, I can't change any of the outcomes. So
yeah, you know, you say make the most of every day. What does that look like for you?
I think it's just doing your best, whatever that looks like. Whether it's obviously reading your scriptures or finding time for God in your day, and just obviously putting a smile on your face. I feel like it's a blessing to wake up every day. And if you don't smile, it's, you're wasting your smile. So I think it's just trying your best every day.
I like that. How do you make time for God in your busy schedule?
I like to pray when I wake up and when I go to sleep. And sometimes I don't do it, sometimes I do, but I try to every day to do my Come Follow Me, and I have this like study guide book that I just follow along with, reading the Old Testament, and I just try to listen to conference talks every as often as I can. So and I'll also go to the temple. Go to the temple is a big one.
That's sweet. So what has your experience been as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on a professional soccer team?
Yeah, I think it's different from an average person, I guess, I would say.
Yeah.
Not that we're not average, but I think it's just there's a lot of questions, and I feel like you just got to own it, and you got to own what you believe in and how that makes you feel. So I feel like obviously there's a lot of questions from my non-member teammates and what it is, or like, there's stereotypes about members of the church and stuff like that. So it's like I get questions, but I feel like it's not really different other than that. I feel like everyone treats me normal when everyone sees that you're a normal person. It's just like,
Yeah. So how do you roll with those questions? Like what type of questions have you gotten?
I feel like I've taken pretty well. I just answered them to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
I feel like obviously they're just like asking about weird stuff, like just crazy stuff about like stereotypes about Mormons and stuff like that. So it's just like some of them are just kind of like, what? Like that's not true, or like and answer them to the best of my ability. And some of them are genuinely curious about like what the church is about, what's the difference between Christianity, like regular Christianity, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I feel like, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. So with your journey becoming pro at such a young age, what qualities matter more to you than talent in this journey?
I think hard work is the most important quality. And like I said, being coachable or humble in yourself. I feel like there's a lot of players that have high egos and they think just because they're so talented, they don't have to work or they don't have nothing to learn. And I think those are the type of players that, have a good career but don't have a great career.
Yeah.
Or don't maximize their talent. But I feel like talent is a huge thing. And don't get me wrong, it's a super huge thing. But I feel like if you have talent and you don't work hard and you don't listen and you don't improve yourself, then you wouldn't be maximizing what you have, what God has given you. So I think just being coachable and hard work.
That's awesome. So how in particular are you coachable? Like what ways would you say you do that?
Well, I just think I'm just open to everything. I feel like I'm open-minded, and I feel like obviously I do trust in my ability, and sometimes it's like I get told something that I'm maybe like, like I don't know if I agree with that, but like I'll try it. I feel like just being open to try and being open to criticizing yourself. I feel like sometimes when a coach says something about you that you need to improve, it's kind of like, nah, like that maybe you didn't think you needed to improve on.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a stab in the heart. It's like, I didn't think I needed to improve on that, but okay, I guess since you're saying it, like I'll self-reflect. So I think that's just the biggest part, self-reflection.
Yeah. Can you share a specific experience about, when you have had that correction and had to participate in that self-reflection?
I think just when I started playing with the first team, I feel like, just like I was saying, you feel like you're the best. And it's like all of a sudden you're not the best. And it's like I still think in my mind, like I'm the best, but like realistically, like everyone's on the same level as me. So I think when I started playing, I wasn't getting opportunities like to play as much as I wanted, and it was just kind of like frustrating. You think you're doing everything right, and then the coaches are telling you everything, like almost everything you're doing is wrong. So it's kind of just like overwhelming a little bit. It's just like, wow, like I really just need to take a moment and like reflect on everything. And I feel like instead of getting angry and being upset about all the bad thing that they were saying, I feel like when you take in self-reflect, you can just bring the good out of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. How do you go about that, going from maybe angry in the criticism to being willing to take that with that self-reflection process?
Yeah, I think in the moment, like when I'm in practice and they're screaming and, you obviously you get frustrated, you're not going to be calm and just be like, all right, it's hard to do that. But I think after practice, you just kind of think what they said and like kind of look, I feel like you ask them to go over film or you ask them to, it's like, since you said this, like, can I have help improving this. So I think it's just about asking questions too. I think it's like everything they say is not to hurt you, it's to improve you. That's why they're the coaches. So yeah, I think it's just about taking a different perspective and not thinking that like they're trying to bully you or they're trying to criticize you in front of the whole team. But it's just like they want you to improve. So
Yeah. So how has asking questions like that helped you to improve?
yeah, I think it's just giving me opportunities to learn from a bunch of different people, because I feel like obviously I've had different coaches through the national team and obviously just through RSL and the academy. So I think asking them all questions and going over film with them and I feel like when you ask questions, they want to teach you more.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you ask questions, they're more invested in your development and they're more invested in you as a person. So I think that's what's helped me the most.
Yeah. So if you can say this, who is your favorite coach that you've learned from so far?
My favorite coach is a coach I learned from in the academy or one of my national team coaches. His name's Andrew May or Marko Mitrovic. In specific, Andrew, he was my first coach in the academy, and I think the reason he's my favorite coach, it was just he kind of invested in me as a person more than as a player.
Yeah.
So like I feel like he knew me and like he knows my strengths and my weaknesses. So I feel like on the field I trusted him a lot more in my development and trusted everything he said. And I think just the same as when he's giving me criticism, it's like he's invested in me as a person, so I know where he's coming from, and I know he's coming from a place of love and a place of wanting me to improve. So that's what I think was my favorite quality about him.
Yeah. And what about, was it Marko?
Yeah, Marko.
Yeah, what about Marko?
Marko, I think he's just like a lot of things. I met him later in my career, maybe after I was already professional, but he was my under-20 national team coach.
Okay, yeah.
And I think he just holds everyone to the same standard. And I think a lot of times, you feel like coaches have favorites, or it's like, I feel like he holds everyone to a hard standard, but also off the field, he has a personal relationship with you and each and every one of you. So I think that's my most important trait in a coach. I feel like having a personal relationship with them just makes you want to work harder for them, makes you want to improve to see them satisfied and happy. So I think, I feel like he was hard on everyone, but he's the same hard on everyone, and he just wants you to improve. So I think that was my favorite.
Yeah. So with both Andrew and Marko, it sounds like being invested in you personally and having that personal relationship is really valuable, right?
100%.
How did those two coaches show that to you?
I think it was just about like the way they talk to you on the field and the way they talk to you off the field. I feel like some coaches will just only talk to you about soccer. And I feel like, both of those guys, they want to know how your family is. They want to know how you are as a person and off the field and how you're feeling, stuff like that, and just have real conversations that are not just like, do this, do that. So I feel like and also on the field, they're hard on you, obviously, as I said, but it's just kind of like a nurturing, hard, like tough love a little bit.
Yeah. So would you say that their expectations were matched by their level of love?
Yes, for sure.
That's awesome.
100%.
Have you ever had a coach that, maybe had too high of expectations when compared to the love?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think, some coaches are different. I feel like some people are just like more, I want to be invested in you. I want to be invested in everyone. And some coaches are just like, okay, I'm the tactics guy. Like, I want you to do this and this and this. And, they don't really have relationships with the players, but I mean, everyone has different coaching styles. So I think for me personally, I haven't had a coach that expected too much out of me. I think all of my coaches that I've had know the potential that I have and believed in me so much. So I feel like I wouldn't take that as maybe you're expecting too much. But I also feel like when you expect too much, I feel like that's a compliment to me. I feel like, you think I can do that and I can do that. So you're expecting that from me. And I feel like that's the best coaching you can have when someone expects a lot from you. Yeah. So
that, as you're talking through this, it's making me think like this is an awesome mindset for youth athletes to have, and especially in higher pressure environments like you've had. How have you developed that mindset?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, just like you said, it's a high pressure environment. So I feel like you have to like either adapt or you're gonna fail. So I think having that high pressure environment, especially with the national team, all the best players in the country, you go play there, and it's like you have higher expectations there, and then you come back and then it's like, oh, you're a national team player, you have to perform better with your club. So I think there's situations where have maybe been like more pressure has been put on me. So I feel like if I let myself think negatively in a way, like oh, everyone's expecting too much, everyone's expecting this, you know, I feel like that would take a toll on me and my performances and obviously my mindset off the field as well.
Yeah.
So I think thinking positively was the best way for me to just kind of not even block everything out, but just kind of deal with all the comments and everyone's words, you know.
Yeah. How would you tell young athletes, you know, looking back on your high school self
Yeah.
or you 3 years ago before you've signed,
Yeah.
what would you tell yourself, you know, how to develop that mindset?
Yeah, I feel like a big thing that I always say in my development, I feel like was not compare. I feel like in the academy, like 14, coming up, I playing the whole season. I felt like I was playing good, and like there's other players going up, like age groups, like moving up age groups, going to the Monarchs, going to the first team, and it's like, you know, you kind of look at them. It's like, why can I do that, or like why am I not there right now?
Yeah.
But I think comparison is a thief of joy, and I think everyone has their own journey, especially in sports. I feel like everyone develops at their own rate and does their own things in their own time. So I think if you look at everyone else's, it's just like it's going to stop you from developing the way you need to develop. So I think you just need to focus on your journey and your path, and wherever you are, work your hardest and do your best, and yeah, and that's going to take you where you need to be.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular that helps you to avoid that comparison?
Yeah, I think about like, God knows what's best for me. So wherever I am is where I need to be. If I'm living right and doing the right things, I feel like wherever I am is where I need to be. So I think just making the most out of every opportunity wherever I am, whether it's where I want to be or where God wants me to be. So I think, yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but what do you feel is like the most important character trait now in your, you know, in both physical development and personal development?
Yeah, I think now for me, as like I played a whole season and I feel like I'm a little bit have more experience. I think now is just, I think even now more than ever, just humbling myself. Just obviously I've scored goals, I've had assists, you know, I've played a lot of games. So I think it's just being willing to learn again and being humbling yourself to know how much you need to learn and that you still need to learn a lot. So I think that's the most important thing for me on the field. And off the field, I think is just staying connected to my family and staying connected to my faith is what keeps me grounded. So I think just staying grounded and staying humble through all the success or failure, regardless of what it is.
Yeah. If you were telling the kids back at the academy, you know, you're the success story and now people look up to you, how would you suggest that they develop those characteristics?
I think I got lucky. I think,
Yeah.
I think obviously I have my mom, and she's the greatest example to me. So I think I have a lot of role models in my life that have helped me develop that mindset, and coaches. But I also think just being a member of the church and being around so many good people in the church, my bishops, all that. I think that's what helped me develop those kind of mindsets. I feel like if I didn't have my faith, I feel like soccer would be everything to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that I do have my faith. It's like soccer's obviously a huge part of my life, but it's not my whole life, you know. And I'm a child of God. I'm a person. I'm a human before I'm a soccer player. So I think that helps me take the pressure off that you were talking about of professional soccer or any of the expectations of other people. It's just like I'm a person, and I also happen to play soccer. So I think that's what I would say.
Yeah. That's amazing. So that's developing an identity outside of the sport.
100%, yeah.
Wonderful. So what has been the biggest thing that you've learned from playing for RSL so far?
I think, I don't know, maybe just how fast life can come at you. I think just like we were saying, I feel like even last season, I feel like I wasn't playing any, at least. I wasn't even in training, really. It was like rotating reps in training. And then like one day, like one of our players got hurt. So it's like, oh, I'm starting the next game all of a sudden after not playing. So it was kind of like from 0 to 100. And it's like, you just need to be ready to take your opportunities. That's what I would say. I feel like, yeah, regardless of what position you're in, you need to work hard and be ready for your opportunity.
Yeah. So you mentioned working hard. How else do you stay ready?
I feel like your mindset is a big thing. I feel like when things aren't going your way, it's easy to be like, oh, like I'm not in the right position. I'm not where I want to be, and it's like all these coaches hate me, my teammates hate me, or like, I'm better than all these guys. Like I should be playing. I feel like just being positive and keeping like positive self-talk, positive just thoughts in general. I feel like helps you just focus on what you need to do and the task at hand. And I feel like when the opportunity comes, you're not going to have any thoughts. But I feel like if you're thinking negatively, like when your opportunity comes, you're not going to take it. You're going to make excuses for yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think, just thinking positively.
So what does your positive self-talk look like? What does it sound like?
Well, I think it's just like giving other people the benefit of the doubt. First of all, I think when things don't go your way or people don't react the way you think they should react or do the things you think they should do, you have to just think like, like they're not me. And like I shouldn't expect someone to react the way I would because, they're a whole different person. And I think that's just the biggest part of not taking things personal. I think a lot of times we can take things personal. Like when you're not in the starting squad, it's like you can take that personal. So I think just not taking things personal and, looking from other perspectives.
Yeah. So as we've been talking, I've noticed you have a pretty outward focused perspective. How has that helped you in soccer, in the situation that you're in?
I think just in the relationships I built, it's helped me a lot. I feel like around the facility and the club, just like the way I am, I feel like I built a lot of great friendships and I feel like just me being the person that I am has given me opportunities to play maybe when I wasn't like the best or when I wasn't like at my peak performance, but like just because people enjoyed me being around them or enjoyed the way I was, that they want to have me on the team and they want to have me in the locker room. So I think, just the relationships I've made. I think relationships are the best thing we can have in life. So
what's your favorite part about the relationship that you have with this team?
I think it's just having fun. I feel like soccer's nothing if you're not having fun. I feel like sometimes it can get too serious, even though it is serious. But I feel like you can kind of get on autopilot when things are too serious. You go to practice, you play, you go home, like you recover. I feel like there needs to be some fun, some joking, some element of enjoyment in all of that. So
So which one of your teammates would you say has the most fun on the field?
I would say Kobe Henry. Kobe Henry, he's one of my best friends on the field. He has the most fun all the time. Like,
That's sweet. Genuinely, I wish I knew more about soccer. I was like, Justin, I have to take your input. I was a swimmer in high school.
That's awesome.
That's sweet. So would you have done anything different if you could go back?
Honestly, no. I feel like, just like I said, I feel like God has a plan for me and all the things, good or bad, I feel like have shaped me to the person I am today and the player I am today. So I feel like if I changed anything, it wouldn't be the same. So I think I like where I'm at and
Yeah, even those bad things we talked about, your trials growing up and you're breaking your fibula.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How has your definition of success changed?
Wow. I think, wow, that's a good question. I think it's changed in just the way that it's like success is not like making a lot of money or necessarily being the best. Like, I think it's just, I've changed my perspective from like kind of an outward, like a worldly perspective on success. I feel like now I think my success is going to be having a family, getting married, and obviously being the best person I can be, and that will ultimately take me to being the best soccer player I can be. And obviously, I feel like when you do those things, like the money and all of this stuff, the fame and stuff like this takes care of itself. And if you have it, you have it. And if you don't, you don't. And I feel like just focusing on more of the human aspect of success instead of like I'm a professional athlete. I have to make the most money. I have to be the best. I feel like obviously I believe like if I can be my best self, that I can ultimately be the best. I think that's what I want to focus on, and I feel like it comes back to not comparing yourself. I feel like if you compare yourself as like, okay, I want to be as good as him, it's like, no, I just want to be the best me. And if that's better than him, that's better than him. But it's,
So how does being the best you that you can be translate to soccer?
Yeah, I think it's just when you have a mindset in life to be the best you, I feel like when you play anything, when you do anything, you want to be the best you can at it. So I think that translates to soccer and just like the mindset. You want to be the best. You want to work as hard as you can. You want to do the right things. You want to make the right play. So I think, yeah, just off the field, if you want to be the best you have to, you're going to want to be the best soccer player as well.
Yeah. So off the field, what aspects are you working on being the best you that you can?
Yeah, I think I always have stuff to work on when off the field. I feel like we can always be better. And I think a lot of things I say, just weekly, I ask for more patience. I feel like being patient is a big thing in life. And I feel like it's easy to get frustrated, especially when you have a busy life and like when you want things and you can't have them right now, or, you feel like you should have something, you don't have it. I feel like patience is something that I'm always working on. And I feel like I have a good amount of it, but I feel like you can always have more patience. And yeah.
How does patience help you in, I guess it's a job playing soccer for you.
Sure.
How does patience help you in that?
Yeah, just like I said, I feel like when you move teams or like you're not playing, you have to be patient. You have to be patient for your opportunity. And just like I said, if you're not patient and you're feeling like, oh, I'm negative and I'm making excuses, like I should be playing, I should be doing this, I feel like that kind of hurts your mindset and hurts your ability to take that opportunity when you get it.
Yeah.
So I think being patient in all those moments and really helps you be ready to take your opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I am uplifted. This has been awesome. I love that. So what advice would you give to, like one piece of advice, what would you give to high school athletes?
I think just be the best you. I think that's my main focus in life, and I think that should be everyone's main focus, just to be the best you and don't worry about if I'm better than someone else or if I'm not better than someone else. It's just like God knows what you're capable of and put you on this earth to do whatever he wants you to do, and you just need to trust that and be the best person you can, and you'll be awesome. So
Yeah. Do you have any advice for coaches helping these athletes that, maybe want to go pro?
Yeah, I think just make the relationship personal. I think that's what's worked best for me. I feel like maybe not too personal, whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with, but I think it's just when kids know that you believe in them and that you truly want the best for them, it's like they're going to work harder. They're going to want to listen to you. I feel like your words have more impact on them when you know them as a person, not just a player.
Yeah. And then what about to parents? Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah. I think just don't put pressure on your kids. I feel like, let them do what they want. And I feel like you should push them in whatever they want to do. But I think just letting them choose what they do want to do is I feel like a essential factor of if they're going to be good at it or not. I feel like a lot of times you see parents like force their kids to do something. It's like, I never really wanted to do this, or they're living vicariously through their son or their daughter that like they never got to play soccer, so they want them to play soccer. It's like, but maybe they don't want to play soccer.
Yeah.
So I think it's just everything you want to love what you're doing, regardless if it's your job or just an activity. You want to love what you're doing. So I think having that love and that joy really helps kids develop more.
Yeah. So Zavier, what do you want? And right now, what do you want?
I want to be happy. I want to, live my life to the best that I can. I want to take the opportunities I have and play as well as I can and score as many goals as I can. And that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's all I got. We're good. Thank you so much for.
This was awesome.
Yeah, of course.